Well, friends, accountability and the rule of law have taken another hit, this time down in Georgia. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, in a 2-1 split decision by a 3-judge panel, a Georgia appeals court just ruled that District Attorney Fani Willis should be disqualified from heading up the RICO prosecution of Donald Trump and his co-conspirators for allegedly violating Georgia state election laws. But the appeals court also ruled that the case can continue. Let's start with the new reporting. This from NBC News. Headline, Appeals Court disqualifies DA Fani Willis from prosecuting Trump Georgia case. And that article begins, a Georgia appellate court Thursday disqualified Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and removed her from prosecuting Donald Trump and co-defendants in a case she brought over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. This quote from the court opinion. Quote, after carefully considering the trial court's findings in its order, we conclude that the trial court judge, Judge Scott McAfee, it erred by failing to disqualify DA Willis and her office, the court said, referring to an earlier ruling that allowed Willis to remain on the case. Willis had been under scrutiny over her relationship with a special prosecutor on the case, Nathan Wade. Trump and other co-defendants had requested to have Willis removed from the case. The court did not go so far as to completely dismiss the case, and Georgia law allows for the case to be assigned to a different county prosecutor in the state. But legal experts have said that it's likely to be a difficult task given the complicated, political, and novel nature of the case brought by Willis. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee had found that an appearance of impropriety was created by Willis's romantic relationship with Wade and determined that one of the two needed to leave the case. Within hours of that decision, Wade resigned. But the appellate court said McAfee's decision did not prevent the appearance of impropriety. Quote, the remedy crafted by the trial court to prevent an ongoing appearance of impropriety did nothing to address the appearance of impropriety that existed at times when DA Willis was exercising her broad pretrial discretion about who to prosecute and what charges to bring, the court said. While we recognize that an appearance of impropriety generally is not enough to support disqualification, this is the rare case in which disqualification is mandated and no other remedy will suffice to restore public confidence in the integrity of these proceedings. But friends, here's why it's always important to read the dissent. Remember I said it was a split decision? 2-1, 2 judges said, we usually don't do this, but we're going to disqualify the district attorney for merely the appearance of conflict, the appearance of impropriety, even in the absence of actual conflict and impropriety. Here is what the dissenting judge wrote. One judge, Benjamin Land, dissented. Here is what Judge Land said, quote, for at least the last 43 years, our appellate courts have held that an appearance of impropriety without an actual conflict of interest or actual impropriety provides no basis for the reversal of a trial court's denial of a motion to disqualify, Judge Land wrote. He added, quote, where, as here, a prosecutor has no actual conflict of interest, and the trial court, based on the evidence presented to it, rejects the allegation of actual impropriety, we have no authority to reverse the trial court's denial of a motion to disqualify. None. So Judge Land made it clear that in the past 43 years, this has never been done. And in his legal opinion, the appeals court had no authority to do what it did and kick D.A. Willis off the case. Had no authority, in his words, none. But, it's Donald Trump, so the court went ahead and did it anyway. My editorial comment. The article continues. Under Georgia law, if a DA is disqualified, their office is as well. The case is then referred to the executive director of the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia, who must find another prosecutor for the case. Okay, friends, what are the three main takeaways from this legal development down in Georgia? Well, takeaway number one, this ruling will very likely be appealed by District Attorney Fani Willis's office. And the first appellate step is to ask the full appeals court, all of the judges, it's called an appeal en banc, full bench, to take this up. Remember I said that it was a 2-to-1 ruling, a split decision, with the dissenting judge saying, we don't have the authority to do this. It's never been done in the last 43 years. So D.A. Willis's office will likely file a motion for the full court, all of the appellate court judges, to hear this case. And then the next stop after that, and frankly, if the full court, en banc appeals court, reverses the 2-to-1 split ruling and says, no, D.A. Willis should not have been removed from the case, then inevitably Donald Trump's lawyers will appeal it up to the Georgia State Supreme Court. And if the full bench affirms, that is, agrees with the 2-to-1 ruling, then I suspect D.A. Willis's office will want to appeal it up to the Georgia Supreme Court. So one way or another, we are in for a couple of rounds of appeals. That's the first takeaway. Takeaway number two, even if this ruling stands all the way up through the Georgia Supreme Court and D.A. Willis is removed from the case, which means her whole office is also conflicted out, removed from the case, the appeals court opinion says the case can continue. It can continue to be prosecuted. However, it will have to be assigned to another Georgia County prosecutor's office. So the good news is, we're always looking for some good news, some reason to be optimistic, some points of light amidst the Trump-induced darkness. The good news is the case can continue to be prosecuted, but it will be a challenge to find another Georgia County prosecutor's office that is up to the task and is willing to go just as aggressively against the folks who tried to overturn the election's results down in Georgia. And the third takeaway, friends, accountability is struggling. Accountability for the crimes of those who are rich, powerful, influential, connected is struggling. You know, the rule of law in America can be snuffed out if we let it. So our mission, our battle, our struggle, our challenge is to not let it be snuffed out. Because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.